I worked out that if we could only get about 2 litres of cows per day extra for 4 months of the year, there'd be a payback of about 10 years. But I'm hopeful that it could be double that benefit and half the payback time. Yeah, I'm Leo Cleary, and I'm a dairy farmer at Wauchope on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. One of the problems, as temperatures have increased particularly, is heat stress with stock. And as herd numbers have grown, natural shade it doesn't seem to be the answer. That it very quickly becomes bogged and becomes a mastitis haven. So you have to look at some way of cooling cows. And we've done several things for that. One of those is to put fans in the dairy so that when the cows are being milked, they have cool air blowing on them. We've also put a large roof over the holding yard so the cows are shaded from the sun. And then we have a sprinkler system that comes on and goes off intermittently every 3 minutes to cool the cows as well. And those measures have been a big help. Well, we built the dairy about 12 years ago for, I suppose, about around $500,000. And then we put a roof over the yard about 4 years ago for around about $50,000 or $60,000. And our next project is to put a roof over the feed pad that we constructed 3 years ago. But it's going to be much more than the dairy yard was. Once it's all done, we're very optimistic that the increase in production we'll get by those cows being shaded on hot days and being able to eat silage at that time will certainly pay for it. The concrete feed pad needs to be kept clean and it could be hosed down daily, but we've chosen to install a flood washing system that recycles about 50,000 litres of effluent water daily. It's pumped through a solar pump to 2 storage tanks, and then they're released through an air valve. The flood emerges out of 3 vents in the top of the feed pad, which has a 5-degree slope, and that water rushes down to the bottom where the solids are separated by flotation and the water returned to the effluent dam for use again. Well, prior to us doing this, we were drawing that quantity of fresh water a day to wash the feed pad. Now that works out to be about 18 megalitres a year of fresh water coming from the river. Now that's been saved, and that's an important thing for the town dwellers of this area. I think farmers have constantly changed their practices. They observe what other farmers are doing. They see what works and what fails, what crops succeed and those that don't. How do you feed your cows? For us here on the mid-north coast, if the summers get hotter and hotter, it's probably going to be very important that the cows have some shade. So that's one of those heat stress issues is going to be, I think, the biggest challenge for dairy farming. So I think this research that's going into climate change is going to be very valuable to ensure the survival of dairy families and the industry into the future.